Hello. Welcome back. Rubber Dinghy Report and all that.
Yep, we're floated on back down to your wonderful ears.
Oh, good lord. Alright. Well, Sam.
Yes.
How's things been since last week, mate?
We've had a couple things going on.
Yes, we have.
We'll get to those. I think we'll give a proper rundown. But we should first touch on maybe your favourite part of this podcast.
Oh, big punch machine. Big punch-os.
I was going to talk about the gift giving.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You owe me a gift. That's right, because I did slaughter you at the last,
It was a
faction
destruction,
battle.
and...
And I'm hoping to keep it continuing through this week, so...
You do like gifts.
Yep, I do like gifts, so, yeah, please present me with my gift, mate. Let's see what we've got.
So, yesterday...
Yeah.
I went to North Stradbroke Island.
Yes, you did.
Took a boat over. Love
Yeah.
boats. Who doesn't love boats?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd get some little treasures from Stradbroke.
Can I take a guess?
Go for it.
Is it a rock?
You'd be incorrect.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought you would have just picked a rock off the ground and...
You know what?
If
quite frankly disappointed by the level of disrespect I am showing here. Close your eyes.
Wait. Firstly, I do believe it is a rock. Secondly, I would deeply respect, I would hate you, but I'd find it hilarious if you brought me a fistful of sand.
That would be kind of rock.
Yeah. Alright, close my eyes.
Alright.
I'll also cover my face because I don't trust you.
Well, we'll start with this. Hold out a hand for me.
Oh, good lord.
Now...
It's a rock.
No. We're not done.
Oh.
It's not a rock. There are two rocks. Hold on. We are not complete. Hold out your hand. I thought you'd want something to beat me with afterwards, so I got you a stick. So yeah, I found you some nice driftwood.
You got me two
rocks.
rocks and a stick.
And a driftwood.
This is
Lovingly collected from the beach.
Well.
Beautiful.
There we go. Wonderful. Thank you for those gifts.
Yes.
I hope to win again this week, and you still have to get me more gifts.
I thought this quality was much
I can't wait for my my first Lost, where you're gonna realize that I believe in regifting.
Regifting is available, huh?
I've not given you anything. What are you gonna regift?
Anyway, let's get into this episode.
Right, yeah, go on. What do we got planned, Big Dinghy?
All right, so let's just start with our weekly updates of a few things.
Right. Yeah. So
Let's just... Everyone's favourite punch machine. Do we want to start there?
Yeah. Punch machine going well. If you watched the last video, we had the designs up and going, and I believe by the time this comes out, it will be with Sinorama in New Farm. It will have been delivered from Sydney.
Just as in last video, you mean our last Becoming Authors, don't you?
Yes, yeah. Well, the last video on the channel.
You would have seen a little bit of a sneak peek at some of the
design
being done for that.
Yeah, Sinorama New Farm are going to be putting all those decals on the machine itself.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting. Keen for how it turns out. And then we'll have that delivered to us here by then. Yeah. And then after that, I should probably stop playing with this, but it's probably making for audio. But
I did give you rocks.
Yeah, I'll take the stick instead.
Okay.
But yeah, so they're going to put all the details, get it all shipped to us, and then we'll have it ready to go. So that's at least it's been smooth sailing so far. Pack and Send haven't told me that they picked it up. So
it was meant to be picked up today. Wasn't it?
So when I emailed them, they were like, "It's being picked up 8 a.m. on Monday." And then the guy that they were picking it up from texted me and like, "Hey, they picked it up," and he sent me a text at 8 a.m. saying, "Hey, they've come and picked it up." But I just never got told by Pack and Send that they picked it up. So I would imagine that they have, considering it coincides.
Yeah.
But I just never got word of it. So I imagine maybe because it's public holiday. Is that Australia-wide or is that just us?
Ooh, I'm not 100% sure. I think it might vary state to state.
Which one is it?
It's Labor Day.
Oh, they have that one in China at the moment. Except it's 5 days. They must be doing big labour over there. Big labouring. So they got such a big economy. And that,
for those who are not aware, how do you know that this is the case?
Oh yeah, it's the stickers and the pins that I ordered to be shipped out of China. They were like, "Oh, we'll ship them out after our public holiday," and then I chat GPT'd it and it said it was Labor Day, but 5 days, so call it Labor Days. You
Yeah.
know? Grammatically poor. You know, don't know how well that's going to translate to the West. So, you know, it's strange that it coincides with our Labor Day. I don't know.
I think
is that
it's
a
just
thing?
coincidence.
Yeah.
I don't know the origins of
also,
Labor
it could
Day.
be wrong. I could just be making things up.
It was ChatGPT, yes.
Yeah, as I am to do on this channel. Mm-hmm. Again, we don't fact check. We put things out there and
I
assume they're
fact check.
correct. You don't. You've not fact checked anything I said. You haven't.
That's what you think.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at now. Just getting ready for conventions, writing a lot, kind of assessing what we want from the project in terms of output. I mean, if you
Yes.
watched the last episode, the Becoming Authors episode, we had like a big old discussion about that.
To summarize that, we're hoping to get to a schedule where we're putting out about 4 books a year.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's
Fingers crossed.
Yes,
Still,
it's
a lot to consider
possible.
with that.
It's just going to take work and a lot of hard work, not just in terms of output, but in terms of streamlining, understanding what we want from each other to make.
It's
the
a work
process
in
better.
progress,
Yeah.
and we'll see what eventuates from that.
Yeah, exactly. I just think it is the most. What's the word? Not streamlined, but like it's the most efficient / productive kind of release schedule in terms of keeping quality, but also giving ourselves the best chance to succeed within 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Because then hopefully we're looking at between 12 and 20 books in that period of time.
Yeah.
Which if we've got that many out there by then, it's pretty good.
We're doing well.
It's pretty good effort, you know? And it's giving, again, that's 20 chances to succeed.
Yeah.
So...
And that won't just be the one series either. That'll be
that'll be across
diversifying
multiple
out.
series.
Yeah, so there'll be more.
And that's the
jumping
other
in
thing I think that I was worried about before. If we were thinking about 1 to 2 books a year, maybe 3 or whatever it might be. If we start a new series, if we run simultaneous series, someone's a fan of one, they're only getting a book every year, maybe longer than that.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's sort of what's happening with Sanderson with me. At the moment.
That's what I'm saying. I think if we've got 2 series, I imagine we're never gonna have more than 2 long series on the go at one time.
Yeah.
I'd imagine. If that's the case, still giving them each 2 books a year.
Yeah.
One every 6 months. I think that's pretty good.
It's not bad. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think any more than that, it's inundated. Any less than that, people are a little starved. Especially because we want to go down the route of multiple series that are multiple jumping points.
Yeah.
Like if someone jumps in at Empire, but then someone's jumped in at Revolt, it's like we can't starve one of them. Because we've told them that both of them are valid jumping in points, you know? So I think that's where 4 books a year is kind of like the ideal point. You know, like that's kind of in order to optimize. In order to optimize our project the best that we can.
Yeah.
That's probably what we need to do. And you know, things go wrong, things go right. We don't know, but that's what we should be trying for, I think. So yeah, that's kind of the update as to where we're at with that.
And to further provide updates and just generally date the episode, we've just had our is it federal election?
Oh,
what's in it?
Yeah.
That's a win for Labour, and we know Toc's a big fan of child labour, so he's a big. He very much enjoyed this win. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your voting methods?
Yeah, I like fun names.
Yeah.
And I'm also referred to as Rock Boy, and someone had the name Sands.
Okay, so you went for them.
Yeah.
Well, we're part of a part of our group that we play football with that we're playing tonight. Actually, we have a fantasy football team going on, and we did that through the World Cup and the Euros and all that. The first one, Sam only picked players with religious names.
If they were religious adjacent.
Yeah, or religious adjacent. So, you know, Christian Eriksen, Mohamed Salah, those types of names, you know what I mean? And then the last one you did, they had to have or be similar to the word man featured in their name.
Yes.
Which is an absolute blinder in the Euros when Dennis Mann from Romania pulled out a brace and an assist in the opening game and you had him captain. Absolute flyer of a start.
The wildest pick.
Yeah. No, I think you were the only person in the whole tournament that had him. And you had him captain because his last name was purely Man.
Yeah, it was a great pick.
Yeah, it was. So your voting patterns were...
Very similar.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Very good.
Yep.
Nice. And then... what?
And on your end?
Well, I've...
Oh, a pre-prepared sheet of paper.
I have been advised by my lawyers not to delve into my voting patterns as it may reflect badly upon the nature of our company and upon our project. So I will refrain from answering these questions, and any further questions can be forwarded to my lawyers. Thank you very much.
Legal disclaimer. So yeah,
and that marks the end of that. I will not imprison myself.
Well, do we want to skip to what we've been reading and such this week, or what media we've consumed?
Yeah,
or
go on. How's Old Magicians Guild?
All right, so I have finished that.
Yep.
I finished that very quickly after the day after the previous episode. So I gave that a 3.75.
Okay, it's a decent score.
It's not too bad. It's definitely,
Unless it's out of 50.
It's out of 5.
Okay. Yep.
So it was pretty good.
Yep.
It was an enjoyable read. I don't think it was anything like, it wasn't a standout read. Like, it was just like a comfortable read, I should say. I talked about part 1 last time, which was basically just the main character of the street child or the slum.
That one where it's like that she thinks they want to kill her, but they want to save her.
It's got the two perspectives of her escaping the magicians and the magicians coming for her to save her life, more or less.
Yeah.
So part 2 takes us into the guild itself, or to the school, depending on what you want to call it, because it kind of is just a school at the end of the day. The dramatic irony continues, but in a different way.
Okay.
It goes into more of a blackmail style situation.
Bringing race into it, that doesn't seem very right.
Not so much race, but maybe social hierarchy.
Oh, okay.
So the certain magicians do not like this slum dweller, this outsider
the
coming
classic,
into their guild.
The classic,
So there's a good amount of them who have no issue with it, but there's certain ones, there's a specific character who just hates, her name is Sinia, the main character. Sinia hates her, tries, initially starts with getting on her good side and then flips it around.
Okay.
Goes as far as kidnapping a child, a few different things. Interestingly, they didn't hold back from that with the kidnapping. That child was left in a room they could not escape from, without a toilet, and only getting so much food throughout the time. So there was it was mentioned a corner that he would not go into because that's where he had to do business. Yeah,
it's worrying that this is playing on you because I know for a fact in this cowboy novel I've written 100 times worse than that, and that's why I relatively tame. That's where I had, how they talk about the kidnap. Oh, it was the kidnapping that I've written.
Well, just a lot of novels.
We're gonna have to. Definitely,
I will be running my eyes over that before that comes out.
I definitely let things run wild. It's intense. Yeah, it's very, very intense.
And as a horror movie unenthusiast, some would call me.
Yeah, you got scared by the movie 7.
Yeah, I'm not going to enjoy this read to the same extent.
Didn't the books do you in?
I haven't read many. I don't read horror books for the sort of reason of I don't want horror.
I get that, but it's not going to shock you.
It's not going to be to the same extent.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to probably some horror elements.
Yeah, I'm probably going to tone what you've done down a touch.
When
we get to that,
it depends. It's but also, do we just want to make a statement?
It's possible. Again, this one caught me out because a lot of times when you do have this kidnapping of a child or anything like that, it's just glossed over. They don't focus in on it.
That's what I'm saying.
All.
Yeah.
So that's why it stood out to me.
That's why I'm like, if you're, for example, a child kidnapped by drug-addled cannibals who are ripped off their heads on psychedelics and are complete hedonists.
Yes.
What would that legitimately look like? Now that's what I've done.
Spooky.
That's what I've done, and I've held nothing back because what would it actually look like is very, very messy.
Yes.
And I've not been brushed up or toned it back because I want to keep with the whole series. I want to keep the realism of what would actually happen in this situation, legitimately what would happen, and bare the bones and all. So. Yeah, that's it's interesting. They've done a similar sort of thing.
Yeah, it wasn't touched on a huge amount.
Yeah,
but it was enough that it stood out, which was, again, it's more than just glossing over. I've got a child captive. I'm never going to show the child in captivity.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And this one had the dynamic of the one who's capturing him. Sorry, holding him hostage, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
He's a magician, so he's got he basically cannot be touched by this just regular human.
Right.
Who at one point does try and stab him to kill
Yeah.
him, but he's just like his shield block it basically.
Okay,
And he's like,
okay.
He never had a chance. He just sort of like laughs at him.
Oh,
and
big
goes
Satoru
away.
Gojo style.
I sort of.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I'm familiar. It took a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one kept the dramatic irony. I think like it was understandable why the other characters didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
There were very valid reasons from each of them because it wasn't just this bad guy keeping secret information from the other guys or the main character not telling the other characters that this guy's got her friend captured because he's got him captured so that if she does tell anyone, he's just going to kill the kid basically.
Right. Okay.
So that's the reason. But the other characters are also holding back secrets from each other. They weren't doing it in a malicious way.
Yeah.
But it helps motivate the main character because she noticed that secrets were being held back.
Yeah, okay.
They had reasons for holding stuff back, which was just like, we want to build the trust with her so that she can eventually be told everything. But
I feel like I always struggle with those sorts of stories just because...
It definitely... I think I enjoyed the first part of it more.
Okay.
It was still enjoyable. I slammed through that book.
Yeah.
It was a quick one.
Yeah, okay.
Something also that happened in part 1 that I didn't touch on, which I didn't know how much they were going to focus in on it, but I'm just going to... Major spoilers for those who are wanting to read book 1, The Magician's Guild by Trudy Canavan.
Yeah.
Just...
Keep talking about that. I'm just going to put the aircon on.
Yeah, no stress.
A little toasty.
When she's running around with the criminals or the gangs and stuff early on in the book, she goes into the guild, like sneaks in with her friend.
Yeah.
And they just like go in and try and like watch the classrooms and stuff in an attempt for her to like learn magic herself.
Yeah.
Without having to go to them. And where would they'd never expect to find the person they're looking for on their front door, that sort of situation.
Getcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when she's doing this observation, she witnesses someone in a black cloak, which is an unusual cloak for magicians, holding like a bloody knife with a cloak covered in blood and stuff like that.
Right.
We see a bit of that stuff, and we also see him slice his servant's arm and like almost not drink from it, but like absorb from it to an extent.
Yeah, okay, I getcha. Yeah.
And that's like very quickly glossed over because she sprints, they run away because they don't want to get caught and stuff. And it looks like at the time that person noticed her through a window.
Okay, yeah.
So they escape from that. But then in the climax, after they've dealt with this whole blackmailing situation, it's all been revealed, which it gets revealed through what's called truth reading, which is basically the magicians, because it's all mental magic. That's the main sort of thing. They use the mental magic to manipulate other things.
Weaponized schizophrenia.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Let's say no, actually.
Okay.
Because I think it would be very detrimental.
Okay.
For this kind of mental magic.
Okay.
So the person who reads her mind to confirm that this person captured her friend.
Yeah.
Also happens because she was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Truth reads this other information about the guy in the black cloak.
Right.
Which is revealed to be the headmaster of the school.
Yo, big Harry Potter style.
And it's black magic. Is it? No, it's not.
Oh, no. Just the headmaster school. I don't know.
So he's doing black magic.
The worst kind.
Not the race.
No, I didn't say that.
I know what you're thinking.
You stop it. I have
Do you
that
need to
lawyer's
grab, legal notice, not true.
Yeah.
Disclaimer. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that book ends with 3 of the characters knowing about this because they can't tell everyone because he's basically too powerful through this black magic.
Yes, okay.
So we start book 2.
Yeah.
Which is called The Novice.
Yeah.
I'm almost done that one now.
Beast.
Got a couple hours left of the audiobook.
Yeah.
I think 2.
Yeah.
So we're getting very close to the end of that.
It?
It's the first book I think was better.
Okay.
Which is strange because the reviews I use on Fable, which I follow me if you're on there, it gets better with each book. The first book was the lowest ranked, and then this one was higher.
It just goes to show you it is literally all subjective.
Yeah, I mean everything's a matter of
like opinion. There are going to be people that enjoy our first novel more than the second, despite most people thinking the second is infinitely better. That's true. Yeah. So, it's hard to know exactly.
So we pick up with that whole focus on the headmaster being evil is sort of put to the side a touch.
Yeah.
It's still there, but they can't do so much. They're still trying to gather information, all of that sort of thing, and try and work it out.
Yeah.
And it mostly starts with a focus of... Because originally when she went to the guild or the school, she's just taught privately so she can gain that level of control, so she doesn't blow everything up, basically. It starts with her going to actual classes with all of the other highborns.
Okay.
And you immediately get like a school situation where she's the outcast. It's major bullying against her. It's a lot of stuff. So I feel like that's a very like told story.
Yeah,
it's hard to do that in a way.
Again, Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's like it's done.
All stories are just retellings of previous stories, in a sense.
I mean, that's sort of like the thing. All media, like novels and stuff, are based on like the Iliad and the Odyssey. I thought that's said or something like that. I don't exactly know the specific quotation, but yeah,
the Iliad, the Odyssey, and Homeless Frank outside the Woolies.
Yes, Homer's Odyssey. Yep.
No, that's the third. It's the third better, lesser known story.
Yes.
Yeah, Homeless Frank from outside Woolies. He's he tells good stories.
Yes.
That's literally where the Godsend Saga came from.
Uncredited author.
Yeah, he made me pay him in darts. I had to give him darts, and he and then it's like one of those ones where you put a coin in and thingy. I had to light a dart for him, and he'd start speaking. It was
Yep.
To write, he wouldn't tell me the conclusion though unless I bought him a crack pipe. So yeah, you know.
That's where our funding went.
Yeah, shout out Homeless Frank.
So yeah, that's sort of like, it felt pretty generic with that. I've read a lot of stuff where there's that sort of bullying element, so it didn't hit as hard as I think it could have if you're not as used to that.
Yeah.
The one that I did find interesting is because she didn't want to live with all the other novices originally, she stayed living with her tutor, because that's where she was living when she was being privately tutored.
Yeah.
Or like taught control.
Yeah.
So the main bully starts up a rumor that she was a prostitute back in the slums, which is a lot of like apparently a lot of highborns think all of this lowborn are just prostitutes and stuff. And that the only reason she's at the school is she's sleeping with that professor. Who is like 70 and she's like 15.
oh, good lord.
And that one has kids and stuff. So it's...
Oh, yep, okay.
I wasn't expecting that, let's just say. And that stood out because it's just so different.
Yeah.
There are some cool elements with their bullying, I must admit. It gets much cooler later on.
Good tactics.
Rate
their bullying.
Honestly, they fail a lot because she's pretty good. But if they succeeded, they would... it's some pretty crook stuff.
Okay. Some good... Any of the old head down the toilet, give it a flush?
There was
like
going to be...
style?
So there's some sort of magical ingredient where the byproduct of is this very foul-smelling oil.
Oh, beast.
They had about like 20 vials of the stuff, then we're going to pour it down her throat. It was... and it's apparent...
that's tough.
It's so bad. When it eventually goes
Drink
wrong...
this, idiot.
More or less. What they start doing towards the end of the book, spoilers again, is they start... She's very strong in the power because she developed it naturally, which was the whole thing about
that was
them taking her.
First book,
She's so powerful that she can like stand up to about like 10 different people just blasting spells at her.
Yeah,
but
true.
She's hesitant to fight back because she knows that they'll use it against her to try and get her expelled.
Right, I guess. Yeah.
So she just has to shield and cop it. But because every time you take a hit with a shield, you lose a bit of like that mental energy. So they just wear down her shield by just ganging up on her, just blasting her with spells, and then they try and do the crook shit. It's stopped for a variety of reasons. Like a few times, like teachers just pop up and it's just convenient timing for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Other times she just...
I like to imagine that just like she's going about her life and just a gang of boys like just pop out and basically start just shooting stuff at her until she relents.
More or less, she knows that they're coming for her.
In my head, they sound like Waluigi.
It's posh Waluigi.
Waluigi. You see that moustache?
So yeah, basically all they do is between classes, whenever she's unsupervised, they will follow her and try and just gang up on her and stuff like that.
Okay.
She goes, because she's like crafty, street kid, she learns all like the secret passages and stuff, but they still chase her down through them and stuff.
Yeah.
She does use a lot of ingenuity shit, but just numbers. They post guards, and it's over time. It's not like they immediately get her every time. They learn from their mistakes. She learns from her mistakes. It's there's going to be a big climax with it. I'm pretty close to that climax.
Okay, nice.
It's basically she's going to take on the main bully in a formal duel. In all of the class duels, she gets paired up with him and he beats her, but she's made to limit her power.
Okay.
He is the most proficient duelist in the, like, magical duelist, I should say, in their grade. So, like, or class, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So he's pretty good, but he's much weaker than her. Okay. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get a fight where I'm getting the intro to the fight. It's what I was listening to as I came here.
So it's the Harry Potter versus Malfoy type beat.
Sort of. Okay. Except this one is kind of like our fights. It's in a stadium. Everyone's fucking
watching. They're not doing it as well as us.
Theirs is called the Dome. Less cool than the Pit.
Way less cool. Sorry, the Simpsons movie did it first.
I think lots of people have done domes.
The Simpsons movie did the Dome first.
Legal disclaimer, we don't know if that's true.
No, who cares? They did it the coolest.
Have you watched that Australian TV show Under the Dome?
No.
Maybe they did it the coolest. I haven't watched it either, so I can't tell you.
I can still quote the Simpsons movie. I only saw it multiple times under the age of 10, and yet if you put it on, I can still quote it. I found that out the other year. I watched it for the first time in well over a decade, and I could still quote almost the entire movie.
I watched it for the first time in like a couple years ago. Yeah. But apparently I'd seen bits and pieces of it throughout my life without knowing.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it'd be on like Fox 8 or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it'd be on there. But, you know.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I've been reading. Yep. What have you consumed?
Well, I've really...
What did you read, first of all? Let's start with our favourite spot.
Oh, yes. What did I read?
Well, I think you just read a legal disclaimer.
I did. I just read that legal disclaimer. Mm-hmm. Review... lawyers wrote it. They told me not to elaborate any further and not incriminate myself. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're going to leave that. All right. I watched the movie Warfare. Yes. Now, Big Alex Garland, the director, shout out to you, big dog. You redeemed yourself from that piece of shit that was Civil War. That was one of the worst movies I've ever watched. But this was phenomenal. Really, really good. I gave it like a solid 4, I believe. Perhaps I gave it a 4.5. I can't remember.
Out of 50?
Yes. And it was, the cap is 5 out of 50, and then the Batman is 50 out of 50.
Yeah. Dark Knight Batman, of course.
No,
yes.
Never. Don't be stupid. You know, so I watched Warfare.
That does look good.
It was really good. It was visceral. It captured my favourite scene in TV show history, which is the Punisher in Iraq. When he's going through that building, and it's very intense. It's very visceral. You feel like you're there. You forget you're watching TV, and it's like everything's so quick. It feels like it's a legitimate combat situation. It's very panicked. It's very raw. It's very real. That was what Warfare was. There wasn't really much of a... There wasn't anything sort of poetic about it that was on the nose. There might have been if you dig deeper. I don't know. I don't care enough to. But the way that it was shot and all that, it felt like a very much real life situation. I always appreciate that when I'm watching something. All the characters acted real. It was raw. It was, you know, the way it was shot was intense. It was loud at the right times. It was quiet at the right times. It felt like legitimate war, not stylized war.
How long do like the time of, like, from what I understand, it's like a very like, they get in a bad situation and they stay in that for the whole movie.
Yes, and then they get out.
Is it like, does it happen within like a relatively short amount of time, or is it like it's like a month sort of time?
No. It's like a half hour, an hour.
Okay.
I think is literally...
It's genuinely just like a very
entire,
short... Yeah, okay, cool.
Because the movie itself is about an hour and a bit.
Yeah.
It's not very long at all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an hour and 10 minutes or something. It's really short.
Yeah, cool.
But it was phenomenal. Acting was great. It felt raw. It felt intense. It felt visceral. It felt real. It drew you in. I also loved the fact that there is no good or bad side to any war. There is only war. And I love the fact that they did... It was about the Iraq War. I love the fact they didn't harp on about, like, the damn racky, they're the bad guy and they come to get. Which, you know, if you're on the American side, well, of course you're going to think that.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they put that aside for a movie and it was simply a warfare situation. It was, these Americans are trying to, they kept the villains per se. They didn't make them villainous in what they were doing. They were simply the opposing side of a war.
Yeah, okay.
And what it was. They were faceless. They were, or relatively anyway, like there were no characters that were of the villains. There was no like twirling moustache villain or anything to, you never really saw any of the, most of it was gunshots coming out of the smoke. Like it wasn't, you know, there wasn't really a face to a villain or anything like that, which I really appreciate. I thought that was actually quite good because it felt more real because of that. So yeah, great movie. Congratulations, Alex Garland. You're not a shit director when it comes to war movies, as Civil War had me believe. That was hot trash. But yeah, so that's what I watched this week.
Does that
I made a deeply bad decision by putting this aircon on. I'm gonna keep the remote over here because I'm cold now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I am enduring it.
Yeah, go on.
Because is it just like a survival story, or is it they have a mission as well?
It's they were on a mission. It goes bad, and then it's an extraction.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's an extraction mission basically.
Yeah, it does look good.
Really good.
It's
really,
one of the few
really
movies I've seen trailers for lately.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I was just in the lead up. I saw a trailer for a Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I watched a full 3-minute trailer. I have no idea what it was about, like at all.
Oh.
Yeah, like literally not a clue. What it had so many different things in that I could not tell you the genre. Nothing. It was like a trailer. Have you ever seen those videos where like a foreigner will do an impression of English where they're not saying real English words, but they're doing it in an English accent. So like it confuses you as an English speaker because you feel like you should be able to understand. That was what this trailer felt like. It had like a collection of clips from the movie. I understood everything that was being said, but by the end of it, I could not tell you a single thing about what the plot would be about.
Interesting.
And it wasn't even in an artistic, stylistic way. If I lined it up side by side with just a generic movie trailer, it followed the same through line of this clip, then this clip, then this clip, then this clip. There was no like artsy stuff to it. It was just I just have
very strange.
Zero clue what it's about.
Okay.
There was a revolution. There was a karate tournament. There was a love. I've got no idea. I have no idea.
Wild.
Yeah, genuinely not a clue.
All right. Well.
Yeah. So there's that. Yeah. Yeah. So what next? Big ding. I've also noticed you just spelled rubber dinghy wrong in your own notebook. So
I plan to.
No, you didn't.
I plan to. I've done that since the beginning.
Yeah, but because you don't know how to spell rubber dinghy, there's an H in there.
No, there's not. Wrong. All right. So moving on.
Yeah.
Speaking of H's, we've got 2 topics for you.
Yep.
Would you want to talk about the anecdotes one, or do you want to do the top 5s?
Let's do some top 5s. Oh, what do we? What did you yourself? What did you see yourself being as a child?
Yes.
What did I see myself being as a child?
So I wanted to do this one because I very much did not see myself becoming an author.
I did and I didn't.
Okay.
I had a phase when I was younger where I did. Let's say between the ages of 6 and 11 or 10. Okay. And I used to write like little stories all the time. I think I talked about it on a previous podcast. And I was like, I'm going to be an author someday.
Yeah.
But that was always second to becoming a tennis player.
Okay.
That was what I wanted to do, and I did chase for a long time. Then I burned out from that, and then from then onwards, it was kind of like I had no idea for a little while. I bounced around, did a bunch of things, and I wanted to become a manga author.
Yep.
And then I was like, drawing takes too long, and I'm like, I want to become an author. But when I was younger, I don't know. I think at one point I wanted to be a football player. I love football.
Yeah.
Tennis player. That was the one I chased the most.
Yeah.
And then besides that, I don't... Oh, a car designer, because I liked cars.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah, and I used to draw cars and designs of cars.
Yeah.
I think there's one that I kept somewhere in like one of my sketchbooks.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
I think on video, of a 3-year-old, I said I wanted to become a pirate. Think I was a phase, because I just got a new pirate ship.
Fair enough.
You know,
a pirate is a good life goal.
I'm not committing crimes off the coast of Africa by any means. I don't have the time for that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whenever I am going through Sam's edits and he complains, I do look at him and say, I am the captain now. So, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at me. I am the captain now.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. So, what about yourself? What did you want to become?
Well, I was determined to be a marine biologist back in the day.
Of course you were. Of course it was something autistic.
Yeah. I loved Finding Nemo.
Leave it there.
That was...
Says enough.
I had so many books on fish.
Really?
I've still got my favourite book I had on fish back in the day.
You're not beating the allegation, Samuel.
I never was gonna beat the allegations.
No.
So yeah, it was gonna be...
What was your favourite fish?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
What?
But no, because it's been a while since I've looked at these books. So I would have had a fish. I just have a terrible memory.
Well, I mean, that kind of...
I was a big fan of the deep sea fish, like the very deep sea.
Oh, like the anglerfish type.
Yeah, all those luminescent glowing ones.
Okay.
I don't have I'm sure there's
I have a favourite fish.
Give it to me.
Axolotl. I know it's not a fish, but it's a sea creature.
That's not a fish.
No, but it's a sea creature. If I had to go fish, puffer fish, they're gangster. Objectively hilarious.
Have you ever had eaten them?
No.
Okay.
I haven't eaten one. Aren't they have to be prepared in a certain way, otherwise they're poisonous?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had that. In terms of fish to eat, salmon. Salmon's my number one. Okay. Sea creatures to eat, octopus is my number one. Specifically baby octopus.
Yeah.
Big fan. That's big
the
fan.
best.
Yeah. But in terms of just fish, salmon. But when I'm having salmon, I like it to be somewhat raw.
Okay.
I do like the raw salmon as well, like a sashimi, but I like it to be in some sort of marinade or something, or some sort of... I usually go garlic, chili, and lime as my three things. Kind of get it in the pan, and then I slap a salmon fillet in there.
Yep.
And I cook it so the middle is still pretty much raw, but the outsides are cooked. Kind of a medium rare or rare steak is how I have it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my favourite way to have salmon. It's very nice.
I think just curried fish is my favourite.
That's fair. It can be quite good. I think it has... If I'm not having a salmon or something like that, I feel like I have to have it curried because just fish as it stands, that fishy taste doesn't do it for me.
Fair enough.
I'm not a huge fan of that. I need that to be kind of overpowered somewhat. Although fish and chips is gone.
Yes,
of course.
Of course.
Yeah. Battered cod, give me that.
Yeah.
You know who I'll never trust? The people who go to a proper good fish and chip store and be like, "Nah, I want mine grilled though." Who are you? Actually, who are you? Sort yourself out.
I am a crumb boy, not a battered boy, but I just love bread.
Crumbed is still regarded as the second best.
No, it's the best.
No.
How can you not want bread on your fish?
No. I'm not saying it's not nice, right? Crumbed fish is nice. If someone offered me crumbed fish, I'd go, yes, right? If you go to a fish and chip, not just a fish restaurant, a fish and chip stop, battered fish.
Nah.
You have to.
No.
And even if you disagree, right, you have to acknowledge it's the one. That's what when you think of fish and chips, it's battered fish.
No, it's crumb for me.
You're insane.
I will not stand for this.
Battered fish. If you go to anywhere where fish and chips is a cultural dish, it's battered. Because then you have it with a battered sausage too. And the calamari...
Battered sausage? What are you talking about?
I grew up in England, right? Chippies, right? The chip shop, good. Battered fish, have to have it. And is that battered? Do you get extra bits of batter put on top? The scraps, right? Literally just bits of batter pulled out the deep fryer. You get them put on top. That's when you know you got a good one.
Nah.
And you have it with chips, beer battered chips. And you have it with a battered sausage, or you have... if it's over here, then I'll have crumbed calamari with it. Crumbed calamari beats battered calamari.
Yes, 100%.
But battered fish is the way to go.
I'd say grilled
the end bits of the battered fish, where you've just got the batter, it's crunchy. That is heavenly.
No, see, maybe my issue with it is battered tends to I can't really smell. Let's just announce that for those who aren't aware.
Well, battered fish isn't exactly the most taste-heavy dish.
No, so my taste maybe is a little different to those who can smell.
Yeah. And
because of that, texture plays a huge part for me.
Yeah. But let's Let's not pretend that it isn't the autism.
It probably has an effect, but I'd argue this is probably the major cause.
Yeah.
The issue with... I've got a huge issue with wet food. If it's too wet...
It shouldn't be.
No.
Good battered fish shouldn't be.
A lot of battered fish...
If it's badly done, sure.
It feels soggy to an
Yes,
extent.
I will still eat that because I will still enjoy it, but the absolute peak of battered fish, it will be entirely dry on the outside.
Whereas it's not even the outside, it's the inside that I've got the issue with. I want that to be crispy. Whereas crumbed, the entire thing feels crispy.
Okay, it's the slimy inside that does you in.
Maybe. I don't know if it's the sliminess of the fish or the sliminess of the batter. It's just
because the inside of the batter is slightly slimy.
So I think that ruins it.
Okay, but even if you, I'm not holding it against you for saying for you prefer it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, the one to like the fish and chips, fish and chips is battered fish and chips.
To me, it is still just crumbed. Like that's just predominantly when I go to a fish and chip place, the one that
what's on the poster?
It's usually crumb for me. I swear.
No, it's battered. If you go in there, I'll just have fish and chips, please. They will ask you if you would prefer it crumbed or grilled. The default is battered.
I feel like it is said in the list, but I feel like battered is in that list. And
battered is always the default.
I feel like you say I'll have fish
first. If you be like I'll have cod and
crumbed,
chips,
battered or grilled, it feels like
no. It's always if you ask for I'll have cod and chips. Always the default's battered.
Okay,
100% it is.
And
that's fine.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, if you have grilled, take a look at yourself.
Yeah, no, I will.
Check
agree with
yourself.
You on that. Yes.
Humble yourself. Kill yourself.
Legal disclaimer: we do not want you to kill yourself.
But if you're getting grilled there, you've got issues.
Yeah.
You've actually got issues.
And then you've also got a chicken salt your chips. That's the other thing.
Yeah, no, that's gone. Yeah, 100%. But yes, that's where did we get to fish? Marine biologist.
Yes, the dream of every marine biologist is to eat their goods.
Yeah.
I mean, this was complete accident.
Yeah.
But when I was graduating high school, I was going to take a gap year.
Yeah.
And work on a pearling ship for 6 months.
It's insane. I could also imagine you doing that. It's kind of.
I can imagine myself doing it, but I'd probably have a terrible time.
Yeah. But you wouldn't complain about that terrible time. You would just do it.
I'd just do it. Yeah.
And you would show zero things on your face that you were having a bad time.
No.
Someone talked to you, you'd be like, "Hello, mate. Yep, I will happily do that." Yep. But, yeah.
Of course. So yeah.
You want to go on to the old top 5?
Yes. So this is your time to shine. You love a good list.
Yeah. So what do you want to do first?
So we've briefly spoken before the podcast, and we were going to do 3 top 5s.
Yep.
Movies. Yep. TV shows and albums.
Yes.
Do you want to start us off with any of those 3?
Take a pick which one you want to do, and I'll start you off.
How about we start with movies, since we talked about that?
Movies. Briefly. Okay. I'll talk about. Are we going favorite, or are we going the best?
I think this is, for me, my list is going to have to be current favorites. I find it incredibly difficult to specify a top 5 of all time. Okay,
if we go
for myself
if we're going favorites, I'm gonna have to pull out Letterboxd, I believe.
Alrighty.
I think I've got my top 4 set.
Yep.
And if this it's difficult because there's like 3 different lists. There's the best.
Yep.
There's favorite, and then there's favorite and best combo sort of thing where it's like I really enjoyed this and I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then there's I just thoroughly enjoyed this.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
I guess you can make your own judgment call about which list you pick.
Because what? I'm gonna go to my list of greatest movies of all time, and I'm gonna freewheel it a bit.
All right. Do you want me to start as you look, or?
Yeah. You go on. Give us your 5 first.
So my 5 are going to be
just a 5, and we'll go 1 each. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to preface it with my own, a bit of what I've decided how I got to my 5.
Yeah, that's fine. But go your 5th entry, then I'll do my 5th entry. Yeah.
So my movies, I've gone with the most rewatchability for myself, and with enjoyment with that.
Okay.
So my number 5 is going to be Magic Mike XXL. It is Channing Tatum, big fan. Magic Mike XXL is just a boys' trip.
Yeah.
It's a boys' trip, and stripping just happens to be involved.
I see.
But it's not the primary focus. The focus is
see.
the friends you make along the way,
Yeah.
more or less.
Yeah.
But it was also the friends you already had and redeveloping that friendship with them. It's just a tale of like male bonds.
Oh, yeah. Tight bonds.
Yep. No, it's genuinely just like a
Tight pair of bonds.
All right. We're not naming brands. Bonds sponsor us.
Go on, yeah. So Magic Mike.
Magic Mike XXL. Magic Mike the first is also a good movie, but
Yeah, number 2's better.
number one is just a good story. Number one,
Okay.
number two is just a trip with the boys. It's just a fun time.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I've got my top 10 movies open right now.
Yes.
Any one of these could feature in my top 5.
Okay.
They're so close to call. This might not be my exact order if I actually had to take time to think about it.
Yeah.
But at a guess,
Okay.
this is what I'm going. Number 5, The Gentleman. Now,
That almost made my list.
if
as
I
well,
had to go purely best movies, it would be about 10th on my list.
Okay.
That's where I sat on my list.
Yeah.
But I just thoroughly enjoy
Oh,
it.
it's an incredible
I
movie.
thoroughly enjoy that movie. I've watched it multiple times over.
Yeah.
Cannot get enough of it.
I love how serious it takes itself and not serious at the same time.
It's so good. It's
Yeah.
the characters. I really liked Raymond as a character.
Yep.
Fletch. I cannot see Hugh Grant as anyone other than Fletch after that.
Yeah.
To the point where I only refer to him as Fletch. Every letterboxd review I leave of a Hugh Grant movie afterwards is Fletch has done this. Like, I watched Heretic, which was a horror movie about him being like this philosophical horror villain.
Yeah.
And I just said someone showed Fletch Reddit. Like, yeah.
I think that's my same thing with Channing Tatum. He's just Michael to me.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, The Gentleman at 5th, phenomenal.
Yeah.
So good, so good. What's your 4th?
I think this will be one that you don't agree with.
Okay.
This is Tenet.
I mean, I don't agree with it being. It wouldn't be anywhere close to my thing. You talk about it. I'll tell you where I've got it on my list.
I think the concept and the execution, like I hear enough. Like I've heard talk about the execution being not done as well for the concept what it is, but I feel like it's just a good action time with a fun, I guess, gimmick to an extent.
Yeah. Okay. I've got it at 102nd on my list.
Okay.
Which that's not to say that I didn't, because on my list of favorite movies, I have over 250.
Yeah.
So it's 102nd on my list. Yeah.
I think the music's very good for that one.
Yeah.
So
it's loud. I honestly, it was lower on my list until the rewatch because I actually couldn't handle how loud it was in the cinema.
Fair enough. I admittedly didn't see it in cinema. First, so maybe
it was better on the TV.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Palindromes are just fun in general. So I like how that they've used that as like the whole.
Yeah. It's not my favorite movie of Nolan's. My favorite movie of Nolan's, I believe, is Memento. That's a good movie.
I need to watch that.
It's a really good movie. I think that's a better one. But Tenet's good.
Yeah.
Tenet's good, solid. My 4th pick, I'm going for. Ooh, it's tough. I'm gonna go with. The Departed.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a movie I've left off my list, even though it's technically 3rd on my all-time list.
Yeah.
Which is Taxi Driver. Mm-hmm. I think it's an amazing movie. However, if I had to be like rewatchability, all that sort of stuff, The Departed.
Tell me about The Departed.
It's a crime movie. You've got an undercover cop.
Yep.
That's working amongst a gang, but also a gang member that is a rat amongst the cops. Okay. And they're both trying to find each other's identity. Yeah. To help the actual people that they're working for. Okay. So it's like a double crossover, and they're both trying to find. And it's Leo DiCaprio and Matt Damon, I believe. Yeah, and they're both quite young. Yeah. Really good acting, amazing story, gripping, like grabs hold of you. Great movie. Yeah. Okay. Really good movie. Yeah. What's your number 3?
I think I might cross one off my list and replace it. Yep. I'll chuck in my honorable mention then. It's probably lower on it now, but it used to be either my top or second. Guardians of the Galaxy becomes my honorable mention. Okay. It's got to be one of my most rewatched movies. Yeah. Marvel was much bigger at the time, and it was much easier to rewatch those movies with all of the good ones coming out. Let's say.
Yeah.
it's definitely fallen out of my favor a bit.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to replace that with Ocean's 11.
Right. Is that the George Clooney
George
type?
Clooney,
Yeah, okay.
Brad Pitt.
Never seen it. It seems good. Yeah, but I've never seen it.
I love a good heist, and
Yeah.
I think this is the best heist movie.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a good getting the team together, each having a role.
Yeah.
The mishaps and the everything that goes right with the heist.
Yeah.
And it's just good.
Yeah.
And
fair.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, completely fair. Number 3, I've got There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
Daniel Day-Lewis giving maybe the best main actor performance there is in cinema. It's like 3 hours long. I was drawn to him the entire time.
Yep.
It's set in like the old American West, the early oil mining days.
Okay.
And it is gripping. Really, really good. Phenomenal movie. Enjoyed it from start to finish. Daniel Day-Lewis is it took me a while to watch one of his movies. I always heard people talk about him as being this mythical actor. Good Lord, it's deserved.
Okay.
Every movie I've seen of him, he is incredible.
Yeah.
Really incredible. So yeah, that's my number 3. Number 2?
I'm going to put the best Batman movie, The Dark Knight.
I'm going to drop it down my list if you saying that.
It's just the best.
It's a good movie. It's a good Joker movie.
It is a good Batman movie.
No, it's a good Joker movie.
Heath Ledger is phenomenal in that.
Yeah, he is. It's a great Joker movie, and it's 116th on my list.
What's Magic Mike on that list?
Well, I've seen it, mate.
So
yeah.
2. It's just a great movie. It's so rewatchable without even watching the rest of the series. It's like it feels like it could be a standalone movie a lot more than a lot of the other superhero movies that are in a series don't feel like.
Right.
And it feels like a good Batman. It's one of my it is my favorite Batman on screen. It's probably a touch less realistic than the current one.
Yep.
But
yep.
It's also having a tank instead of an actual vehicle.
I mean, sure. There's fun elements. I'm not saying it's bad.
No.
It's just by no means the best.
Number
2, The Wind That Shakes the Barley. The Irish... The Troubles... No, that wasn't the Troubles. The Troubles came much later, I believe. It was basically the English occupation of Ireland and them trying to break free of that, and revolutionaries involved in that. Cillian Murphy, a young Cillian Murphy, plays the lead. Probably the best overall acting performance across the board that I've seen in a movie across all characters.
Okay.
Yeah, I was mesmerized by that movie. It's you feel so strongly towards the cause by the way that it's written and all that, and it's phenomenally done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about the English occupation of Ireland. What sort of happens with that?
So that's how it ended up splitting into the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland's a part of the United Kingdom.
Okay.
Republic of Ireland is not. So
Okay.
Republic of Ireland is the orange, white, green flag. Northern Ireland is basically white with the red cross and the little insignia in the middle. Belfast, Northern Ireland. Dublin, Republic of Ireland.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So
was that just English trying to get more land, or was it?
Yeah, English being the English during the height of sort of the English Empire sort of
okay.
thing. And the Irish didn't want anything to do with
Gotcha.
it. And they didn't want to become part of a united kingdom.
Yeah.
They wanted to stay separate. So yeah.
Okay.
That's my number 2. Amazing movie. Yeah. Your number 1.
This is Avatar.
Yeah.
I wasn't fortunate enough to see this in cinema as a child.
See, that's what puzzles me as to how it's your number 1.
I went and watched the remastered when it came out in cinemas.
Okay.
But I grew up on books and stuff. I didn't go to the cinemas much.
Yeah.
It was a very rare occasion, and when it couldn't be like a too out there movie.
Yeah.
Not so much just because parents didn't know what was happening otherwise. They didn't research shit, and it was just their way of like somewhat controlling the situation.
Yeah, no, completely fair. I think that's good.
So, watching this for the first time, mesmerized.
Yeah.
I've always loved like alien worlds and such.
Okay.
This is just this was probably towards the time where I was on the edge of not wanting to be a marine biologist anymore as well. So it was sort of like that discovering the new flora and fauna that was amazing for me.
Yeah.
And it's remained amazing for me since I first watched it.
That's crazy. Because literally for me, I put that as like a 2.5 star movie.
It's
like I just
it will forever be my favorite.
It wasn't bad. It just wasn't much of anything for me. Like it was just a movie. Like I watched it, and by the end of it, I go, yeah.
Like I probably helps that I've heard it is just like a Pocahontas clone.
Right. Yeah.
I never watched that, and also I wasn't influenced by any of that stuff. Yeah. And admittedly, nostalgia does probably play a huge part of this for me.
Yeah.
But just the elements of it.
Yeah.
The art, direction, and everything with that it's so cool.
Yeah, fair. And number 1 for me, the greatest movie ever made until number 2 comes out, The Batman. So,
wrong.
you know, we can just leave it there. It's detective Batman, being a detective, not a superhero. And the score is amazing. The music choices are amazing. Visuals, stunning. The Batmobile is based off a 68 Dodge Charger. What more do you want?
A tank?
Like, no, I'm sorry. A 68 Dodge Charger is objectively cooler. And I know how I'm going to... You know who else drove a 68 Dodge Charger? Vin Diesel and Fast and the Furious. Go on. Yeah, talk about it now. Exactly, that's what I thought.
But imagine if Vin Double Diesel drove a tank.
No, but it's not the same because that's not his car. Like, what makes him is his car. Is Vin Diesel's car.
Just wait till we get an armoured one of those.
No, but it's fine. But it's still a Dodge 68 Dodge Charger, right? Coolest, one of the coolest cars ever made. And the acting is, to me, it's a level up. I don't. Yes, Heath Ledger, great. To me, the acting, Colin Farrell as the Penguin was insanely good. Like, yes, I have a few issues with it here and there. Like, to me, Bruce Wayne was a little emo for my liking. However, it was easily outdone by. I knew it was the best Batman ever made as soon as I saw when he was facing those grunts at the start, and he decked one. But then dropped to one knee and just landed like 3 extra punches. I'm like, yeah, I'm sold. That's it. Like that's it. That's Batman. That's
fair enough.
You know, that was what did it for me. Gone was like the pretty filter over it, as in terms of like superhero Batman. It's like no. This is a detective and a guy that kicks ass because of martial art. Like that's what it was. That's why for me it was the best movie ever made. I say we leave the other 2 categories for the following episodes. Okay. I don't know how we're doing. Yeah, let's all right. Let's leave them for the next ones. Let's move on to what we have next.
Is that the card time?
Is it time for some cards?
The mythical card draw.
Yes, I believe it might be, right? It's time for faction game. Have you got the board?
I do have the board.
Get the board.
Let's pull out the board. Ta-da, board.
Wow, there it is. Are we on the right sides again? Should we switch just for the bit?
Damn.
No, it's not rubbing off.
We can switch.
Let's switch. Wow, how did that happen?
Whoa, we didn't edit any of that out.
No, we didn't, because I'm not going to. Do you think I'm ever going to go through and edit these? My lord.
No.
I would never. I mean, we can lean it up against the old thing, no?
Oh, it's just still going to be...
And then just wedge it up against our thighs. There we go.
Was that in shot?
Oh, somewhat at least.
Alright, well. So explain away.
I mean, but if you watch the previous episodes, pretty much.
For those who haven't.
Watch them. Go back. What the hell? Just go back and watch.
Alright.
So yeah.
Within our sport of war games.
No. Again, just literally go back and watch. We'll just let's
I'm going to give a quick preamble as the mild host of the show.
Yeah, right.
Of the report.
Yeah.
We're going to be picking cards from our deck of gladiator cards, which we have prepared behind the board. If you wouldn't mind shuffling those while I ramble.
Yeah, I'll shuffle them. Yeah.
So we're going to be picking 3 solo gladiators.
Yep.
In positions of ace, second, or fifth.
Yep.
And then we'll be picking a tandem from the tandem deck.
Yep.
For our tandem team, and we're going to position them position the different picks where we see fit.
Oh! There was something else I was going to do. I had a great idea. I actually might cut here and restart the recording because I've got a phenomenal idea.
Let me just finish then.
We're
going to be deciding where the positions of the cards we pick, and then discussing who wins in a faction battle.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna just quickly. All right. I've got my phenomenal idea. So it's on my phone. I've now preloaded it. So basically, when we pick these cards, instead of us just deciding who would win, I thought it'd be more fun to leave it up to chance somewhat still. So even if I pick a gladiator that 9 times out of 10 would beat Sam's, right?
There's still that 10%.
There's still that 10% chance. So we're going to spin a wheel on a 90-10 chance and then see who would win. Which I think at least evens it out. So even if you've got a ridiculously stacked deck, you can still come through. Because again, with war games, styles make fights, all that sort of a thing. So
there's always the bad days for gladiators.
Exactly. So I think we do that. So Sam, do you want to scissors paper rock to see? Let's actually genuinely scissors paper rock to see who starts. All right. Scissors paper rock.
All right, you're starting.
I'm starting. Okay, I'm gonna go with a solo first. Mm-hmm. Let's bring it out here.
So if you watched last week's episode, you may have seen Tok smoked me with all of the holographic Hall of Fame
Basically,
cards.
entirely. Out of the 5 cards that I've drawn so far, 4 have been holographic.
And I had an okay team.
Yeah, it was honestly kind of a weak team.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna take.
Who do we got?
This one here. Okay, I don't think it's a holographic. Let's have a look. Kai Cheng.
Ooh.
Now.
Yep.
He doesn't have a godsend. What? Okay, he does have a godsend. He just refuses, like, he never shows the ability. He has to have one just based off, how well he fights.
And stuff as well.
And how well he fights. But he does not use any ability beyond that. Like, he doesn't use the ability of his godsend. He just uses the natural physical ability that it gives him, like the extra speed, the strength, all that sort of thing. And he's used that to get himself into the top 20, even top 15 at times. He's very strong.
He's just a man who likes throwing hands.
Pretty much. Pretty much exactly. And it'd be interesting to see who he comes up against, because unless they've got something that's going to blow him out the water, if it's anything hand-to-hand, he's got a very good chance.
Yeah.
Because he can also deal with you if you've got a weapon.
Yeah.
Because he's just that good hand-to-hand. But I'm going to have him as my 5th, I believe.
Ooh, a strong 5th.
Yeah.
All right,
Samuel.
I'm going to start with the tandem. And we have somebody who I can't see yet. Ooh.
How do we go with that? Do we go a redraw? Because that's Mao Chen and Kai Cheng.
Yes, so this is
which is Kai Cheng.
We have not yet had a double up situation.
It's rare, but I think we do a redraw in that situation.
I will happily redraw.
I think it's probably just
a very strong tandem. It is a shame to lose them.
It's a decently strong one, yeah. But there are stronger in there, so
All right. Okay.
Oh.
Well, we have the Femme Fury from the Death Squad. Yeah. Charlotte, Cole, and Alyssa Gale.
Yeah. Charlotte has a lasso that she uses, which burns. So it's like it's a burning lasso, like like a cowboy would use or whatever. And Alyssa uses the wind to her ability. They're a low rank Division 1 tandem. Often floating between Division 2 as well. Yeah. Not to say they're not strong. Again, in the scheme of war games, they're very strong. But in the scheme, we've only got Division 1 gladiators here, so that's as low as you're gonna get, pretty much for the tandems. So
it's a rough pull. It is a shame that
what? I'm gonna see what tandem they're gonna be going up against.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pick my tandem. Let's see who we get.
It's rough out here.
Yeah, that's bad. Gonna take. I don't. It could be. It is.
Ravenlaw
and Elijah Garrett, arguably the greatest tandem of all time, depending on who you ask. We've got the ability to create reflective projections that Raven can move between, basically teleporting in a sense, or at least using portals. And Elijah Garrett, who can shoot like laser cannons that also reflect off those reflective portals, so they can pinball stuff around. Hence their collective tandem name of Ricochet. I almost want to put that as 10-0 on the wheel. Like, we might have to delve in the 100 scale and make it 99 to 1 or something.
I think it might be a situation of very low odds.
Like major...
One bad day.
Like a horrific day. So yeah, that's my tandem sorted. Samuel, go on. What are you picking next?
Time for the solo gladiator.
Yeah.
Oh, the bozo himself.
Okay, can we
genuinely,
because this is gonna stick, and I want him to come across as a genuinely big villain. If you keep pushing him as that, it's not gonna go down well for his character.
The self-proclaimed bozo.
No, he's not.
The ace of Evo.
Yeah, Johnny Santana, a phenomenal gladiator, a second Interesting.
He's a second for me.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's a strong hand-to-hand fighter with his initially flanged mace that develops into like a broadsword and so forth.
Yeah, and then a chain,
Very
a
strong
chain sword as well, a third kanto.
Very strong hand-to-hand fighter. One of the strongest weapon users.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe a bit of a bozo.
The thing is, though,
no,
he's intelligent. He's like, he's again. We're not going to give spoilers. It's not even that. There's no spoilers. It's literally you thought he was another character and called him a bozo.
And did I double down?
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I just don't want that to be, because I need him to be an intimidating character.
No, he is an intimidating character.
Just
maybe a bit of a bozo.
The thing is, the more you say it, the more it's going to catch on. He's going to lose all aura that he has when he pops up. That's not, you don't want to turn him comedy.
Aura of being a bozo.
You don't want him to become a comedy character. He's like a deeply serious character.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am applying a bit of a hyperbole to this.
Yeah, definitely.
And maybe a bit of lying.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, the bozo locked in for my second. A strong second.
Yeah, it's a very strong second in all honesty. Considering like for an ace you could have a Hall of Fame or whatever, having Johnny as a second who is a very good ace in his own right is very, very strong.
I've just got to hold out hope for actually my first Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Let's see how we're going here.
Let's have a look.
Toshiaki Tamashi.
Another Hall of Famer.
I'm shuffling the deck on camera as well.
I shuffled it too.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
I'm like, 6 from 7 or something now.
I think it's 6 from 8, yes.
I'm going to take him as my ace.
Yeah, fair.
One of the 4 immortals, along with Akira Miyazaki, who I pulled last time. He's of the Tamashi family, a very prominent family within
father
within
of
war
Tetsu,
games.
who's father of Shinsuke.
Yes, exactly.
Junsui, and the other family.
And the grandfather also of Kuro Tamashi is one of our main characters.
Yes.
So yeah, it uses plasma, like his blood is of a plasma, think like Captain Marvel or those other generic sort of plasma emitting characters where like blasts of energy type things, that's.
But it's like originates in his blood.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it can be used to shield, it can be used to project, it can, it's very, very strong. Probably one of the sheerly strongest.
Just like base powers.
Godsends. Yeah, 100%. So Sam, you want to pick your...
All right, let's see how luck does me. Okay. This isn't as strong as a Hall of Famer, but this is Katsuyori Ibushi.
Okay, that's pretty strong. It's a similar level to Johnny Santana. Very, very up
but not
there.
a bozo. So some would say better. No, he's a strong fighter. He uses sand. He is the current second of Red Dragon.
Yeah.
And very strong elemental godsend.
Yes. Uses sand to like create, manipulate, all that sort of the classic way that you would imagine a sand user, so to speak. Very strong. Not in his arc, people maybe perhaps thought of he would have achieved more by now, being that he's kind of approaching his peak and he's sitting around the fringes of the top 10, which is again phenomenally strong.
It's crazy strong, yeah.
But
I think some people expected more from him.
Yeah, kind of all of his peers that he grew, like his generation, which is really strong that he grew up around, are all aces of their faction and whatnot. He's still a second within Red Dragon. So, people perhaps thought he would have taken the reins by now, maybe, but there's a lot more from him to come, and he's got an interesting arc within the series. So, yeah, that's a very strong fifth. Yeah. It's a very, very strong fifth. Now it's time for me to pick my second. This is the...
All right,
who is my second going to be?
No holo.
Dude, it's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. You can see me shuffling them now. And I then pull one from the middle. Okay, it's not a holo, I do believe.
Alrighty, let's see it.
My guess is it's not very strong. Project 1 from Guillotine, so it's not super, super strong. It's... Honestly, this is looking a lot more... If you get a strong ace, this is looking a lot more balanced than it was last time.
Yeah.
Project 1 can shoot laser cannons as well. He can grow multiple limbs. He's got a couple different godsends. He's a character I don't want to delve too much into just in the sake of there's going to be some revelations about him within the story as we go further in. So, yes, that's Project 1. A bit of a tank type, a fighter. And part of the Guillotine faction.
All right, my final.
Well, no, hang on.
It is unfortunate that I have now pulled another duplicate, and it just happens to be my first holo.
Yeah, Ravenlaw.
Ravenlaw, as we have discussed, one of the greats.
One of the all-time greats. Like, literally a Mount Rushmore of war games.
So that would have been a very nice top pick for me.
Yeah. You're gonna have to. It's probably easier if I just pull it round the front, and then you just draw
take out that bottom one that you just put in.
Okay,
that's the Raven.
Yeah. Like I'll just shuffle again, and then you can pick a card. See who's doing it.
Let's go this one. All right. Ooh.
Oh.
Alistair and
okay.
the current second or third? Second.
The second ranked gladiator in the world. Yeah. The Ace of Carrion.
The Ace of Carrion, a gladiator who you will see more of as the series goes on.
Yeah. He's phenomenally strong.
He's got the power of like bone manipulation.
Yeah. Think Kimimaro from Naruto along those lines. And he's just a ridiculous martial artist as well. Yeah. And a phenomenal combatant. Like, and
a mysterious figure within the world of war games.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more to be learnt about him. But he's on a meteoric rise that's probably never been seen in the sport.
No, it's been a very quick rise. Yeah, it's like out of nowhere.
He joined late.
Yeah.
Again, we won't give his origins away because, the nature of the character. But from when he joined, within a year, he's second ranked.
Yeah.
Like, in Division 1. It's just been like that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even fight that often, so gladiators can pick their own schedule of when to fight. Think of other combat sports like boxing or UFC or anything like that. They can pick their own schedule, pick their own fights that they're offered, and then they choose to accept or not. Alistair doesn't take very many fights, but he wins them in such a fashion that he's the second rank.
Yes.
And still only 24 when a gladiator's peak is like 27, 28.
Yeah.
So, ridiculously good.
Yes.
And that
concludes the drawing part.
So, that's honestly the way that shapes up. That's pretty even.
This might be my strongest team I've put together.
Yes,
excluding my tandem.
Yeah, your tandem's your weakness. Mine is decently balanced. My second is my weakness.
Yes,
it's kind of equivalent to your tandem.
Yeah.
Now, let's go out of 100, right?
Okay.
Let's go out of 100, and I'm gonna say we'll leave it as Tok and Sam on here. For ace to ace.
All right.
Now, Alistair, to me, despite Toshiaki Tamashi being a Hall of Fame and one of the 4 immortals, I see more of an upside in Alistair.
Well, as you'll see early on in Book 1, Alistair takes on his grandson, Shinsuke Tamashi, with the same godsend.
Yes.
And comes out on top.
He does come out on top. And that's kind of pre the Book 1 starting. So, it's something that's already happened in the timeline.
We don't witness that fight, but it's mentioned
already happened.
that it's happened.
And it's hard fought.
Yes.
But Alistair does.
He does. I think it's still. He is. Yeah, it's hard to say.
And I honestly think because Shinsuke is in his prime as we start, and I genuinely do believe his prime is as high, if not higher, than Toshiaki's.
Okay.
It's just a really strong generation right now.
Yeah.
I would give it. It's probably easy for me to offer the odds on whether you accept or not. Yeah. I would probably give it 65-35 in favor of Alistair.
I was thinking less, but I was thinking even like a 60-40.
Yeah, the fact that he's a... Yeah, I think maybe a 60-40 we can go with. So
I might maybe say going towards a 65-35 if the current generation of gladiators is just like stronger in their martial arts capacity compared to the old generation.
I think Toshiaki specifically was a good martial artist.
Okay, so then maybe I'd stick with the 60-40.
Let's go with 60-40. Right, and then we are gonna spin this wheel.
Take it up to that camera.
We're gonna see you come. So Sam's in the light green. I'm in the dark green. That is a Sam victory. That's a Sam victory. So Sam has won the ace battle. Now on to it's just decided to go night mode, like mid spin.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. The next one is Johnny Santana vs. Project 1. To me, I see that as an 85-15 or something.
I think that's... I think Project 1 has a range as well as tanking ability, so
Johnny's just a better fighter.
It's not close in my opinion,
No.
but I think just the fact that he has a bit of range gives him a tiny bit of the
Yeah,
edge.
the range, and I think just the raw strength.
Yeah.
Like, kind of, if he grabs hold to use extra arms and that, it's difficult to deal with. But Johnny's just a way more skilled fighter.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go 1585.
Do you know what? Let's make it 84-16 just because he's a bozo.
Alright, let's give that a spin. Let's see where we end up. Come on. Just keep spinning.
That looks like a Sam victory.
That is a Sam victory. Sam up 2-0.
All right. Now,
I genuinely
I think this is just a single bad day situation.
Yeah, 99-1. It's not even that, again. If you there are some Hall of Fame levels, some all-time grades.
Yes.
Where I would say 90-10 or something. These guys are good.
Also, just the power difference. Like, we're not going to have a great chance with a lasso on a guy who can teleport out of nowhere. Same with wind. What are you going to do about a ranged thing coming at you?
Laser
You can't
cannon.
blow a laser away.
That's literally
It's
1 to 99.
It's a single bad day on the...
You know, one of these days when we're doing this, there's going to be a 99-1 that pays off, and it's going to be like...
And then we start gambling.
Alright, let's go. Let's see where we end up here.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling lucky.
Ho.
Alright, we are buying a lotto ticket.
No!
Alright!
There is no way in hell that Charlotte Colin and Alyssa Gale have beaten Raven Law and Elijah Garrett.
They just tripped over each other. And
No, quite literally, and like, they've tripped over and Elijah has shot Raven in the face. He shot Raven in the face and out of shame has then shot himself, even though that doesn't work.
No,
he's just laid down and gone, defeat me. How have you won a 99-1?
I'm just a lucky boy.
This
is your fault for inviting odds into this. I'm pretty good with winning odds.
Well, I've accidentally hit spin again. I just want to see what... Yeah, I just won that.
Yeah.
So that...
It wasn't just guaranteed to me. It was a lucky spin.
Well, that's the game done. You've won.
Well, you might as well finish it off.
Well, we might as well.
This might be our closest battle. I don't know.
Kai is a better hand-to-hand fighter than Katsuyori.
Yes.
Absolutely. Katsuyori will always have the advantage of using his sand.
Yes.
They're ranked only within 5 places of each other.
Yeah.
But I would say Katsuyori has a higher ceiling than Kai does.
Especially if Kai doesn't use his godsend.
Yes.
Which I think we are saying for this. We're speculating he doesn't use it.
He's not. He never has.
Yeah.
He's never used it before. No one knows what it is. Even me.
So for the sake of this, we are saying he is not using his godsend. He is just relying on his current fighting style.
Exactly. I would put that genuinely at a slightly more than 60-40. Like 62-38. I would put it as. Just because I think he's just ridiculously good and quick and phenomenally strong, and very evasive. Maybe 65-35, I would say.
Okay.
That's
just to be clear, you're the 65?
No, Katsuyori.
Okay, sorry.
Come on, dude. Katsuyori Sand is a joke, and he's higher ranked. And,
fair enough.
Yeah. 100%, so...
I do have a lot of faith in Kai, admittedly.
Yeah.
But Katsuyori is one of my favourite characters.
Yes.
The Sand Wraith, he's a cool guy. And there we go.
Yeah, that's a big Sand victory.
That is a clean sweep for me.
Yeah.
Against all odds.
Yeah. I don't know how you won that tandem one, man. I mean, you would have won 3-1 anyway.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, who would you pick as your... Because I think I've kind of got to go with Toshiaki. I mean, Toshiaki and probably Raven I'm picking.
I think it's Alistair and Katsuyori for me.
Over Johnny?
Yes.
Yeah, because melee sort of a deal,
I always like to balance out the melee with a ranged. I think
fair.
as soon as you introduce a ranged when there's not... when it's against someone with range.
Yes.
It makes it a lot easier than just too close to range.
Yes, that's true.
Fighters.
Although, can you imagine, taking your range, can you imagine Plasma plus if I went with Elijah, his laser cannon, just... just straight up firepower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think Alice is very versatile compared to
Yeah.
a lot of the characters we have.
Yeah.
And Katsuyori is strong from his
Yeah.
further out. I
Yeah,
don't think
100%. That's probably a good.
And
a good
I'm also
combo.
biased against the Bozo, so
I still don't know. He's again
Very strong.
One of the coolest characters.
but a Bozo.
The more you push this, the more it's gonna turn to the fans calling that, and the more it's gonna. Whenever he has a big moment, it's
Just
not
you
gonna
wait
mean
till I
anything.
get them Bozo merch out there for our
No,
next convention.
But again, his moments will mean nothing. As an author, that is painfully reckless.
Yeah.
Like taking a character that, again, spoiler alert, plays a major role in book 3 and on a villainous side, and is like a big
Book
bad.
2, right?
Book 3.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah, you just read them both, so...
Yeah, I'm getting them
Book 3.
confused, yeah.
Yeah, book 3. We probably don't want our reader to go in not having a high expectation of him.
No, let me just say, he is strong.
He's not even strong, he's deeply intimidating.
He's intimidating.
Like, he's probably one of the... Like, his walkout, like, the whole hip-hop concert type vibe thing is one of the most, like, tribalistic, most intense
But I
walkouts
also
and,
will never
like,
not call him a Bozo.
I just hope
You're
no one
lucky
listens
I
to
don't
this.
sneak in Bozo into the book itself.
Why would you self-destruct our novel so much?
For the bit.
I get that. I get that, I really do. However, no. Yeah.
So yeah, that is against all odds a clean sweep for Sam. And I
Yeah.
will be expecting a wonderful gift next week.
Yeah, you'll be getting a gift.
On the level of a hat and a stick and 2 rocks.
Yeah, no, it'll be a gift and a half. It'll be a gift and a half. Well, anyway, if you enjoyed, hope we
Yeah.
were good background noise for you and whatever. I hope whatever task you're doing is going well. You know, whatever you're doing that's more important than this. Just hope it's going well for you, and
Yeah.
we'll catch you in the next episode.
We'll float you later.
Oh, shut up.